Welcome back to another episode. I think this is number 6 of The Rhythm. I'm your host, Jarrett Reed. I have another guest in here. We'll talk a little bit about health, wellness, and how to get movement. And the guy that sitting beside me got a little something to say. But before we get into that, here's a little something from my idol.
Yeah, first of all, you know what I'm saying? We want to thank God, just, you know what I'm saying, dead serious, because if it weren't for him, you know what I'm saying, we wouldn't be here. But it's like this, though. I'm tired of folks, you know what I'm saying? Them closed-minded folks, you know what I'm saying? It's like we got a demo tape and don't nobody want to hear it, but it's like this, the South got something to say. That's all I got to say.
Just like Andre 3000, the South got something to say. So I'm going to be one of the ones saying it. Let me introduce my guest. I wrote down a whole bunch of stuff. Maybe he know it, maybe he don't. He is the owner of Hussle Health and Wellness LLC. He has a bachelor's in kinesiology, aligned strength therapist, ACE certified personal trainer, certified yoga instructor. Man, this dude got everything. He even got his own shorts. My dog, Jeremy Smith. What's up, Jeremy? Appreciate you pulling up, bro.
Thank you, Reed. You're a good man. I appreciate you having me
For sure, man. Pull the mic up a little closer to you so everybody can hear you. Uh, Welcome to the rhythm. We like to talk about how people got started, what they like to do, why they do the things that they do. It had to come from somewhere. So, first off, where did your rhythm come from?
I would say loud enough.
Yeah, we
All
good.
right. Now I would say I as a kid I always liked sports.
Mhm.
So never elite, but I was decent. So it was like if I want to choose something to do for the rest of my life, I figured it'd be something around that. So I kind of landed on physical therapy. Didn't really know much about it. I just was like, oh, I could do these two things. And in high school, I was on the bigger side, so I was probably closer to 200. So at that point, and I think the parentals,
Yeah.
my mom was like, "We're gonna eat different." My pop started taking me to the gym involuntarily, and then from then I just been. And I've had fluctuations. Like in college, I got a little bigger
Yeah.
once I crossed, and then I lost it when I got out of college and did it again. But when I got out of college, it was more on a tip of just like, can I get healthier as I get older? Because I hear a lot of people saying like, I can't do this because I'm whatever years old. And I kind of am of the mindset of like, if you take care of yourself, you got to get the engine running. Like I might have to let the car warm up a little longer, but it can still drive. So
Yeah.
I just want to find the little avenues I could find to just get a little more longevity.
Yeah. I mean, you talk about rhythm, you talk about fluctuation. I've probably known you at least, what, 12 to 14 years, if I'm guesstimating correctly.
Yeah.
Right. Like probably got senior in high school when I first met y'all. Um, yeah, your weight has fluctuated, which is kind of crazy. Like your ability to almost shape shift to a point, and I think that's kind of, I guess, that bodes well for, like, you having clients and stuff like that. Like, how do you kind of talk about your own personal journey with your clients?
I think it helps because I think a lot of time, because I'm a very direct person
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
talk to people. So it's like, but them knowing my background, they know it's from a place of like, if I could do it, you could do it. Like
yeah,
I'm not nobody special. I didn't have no crazy athletic ability that I was doing stuff like anything that I could do, you could do it too. It's just your consistency and getting to that place where you want it more than your old lifestyle. Because it's a lifestyle thing. That's what I
yeah,
kind of tell people. It's not a diet. It ain't no we doing special workouts for 6 months, and it's like no, like you gonna have to change yourself in a sense to get to that place, and you will feel the difference. Like
yeah,
I tell everybody, it's like you never know till you try it,
yeah.
like what it'll feel like to do something differently.
For sure. I mean, to that, like, you talk about, talking to other people, even your clients. Like, how do you separate yourself from other trainers? Because the world of, like, trainers is mass, right? Like, there's trainers. Hell, we can walk down out here on Magazine Street. You probably run into a personal trainer of some sort. Like, how do you differentiate yourself from somebody else?
I think it's just like with anything you do, it's like you got to have a love for it in the sense of like on the way here, I'm listening to podcasts about nutrition and stuff. Not necessarily that it's information that not that I'm always a student, so I think that's what's up. Like I want to make sure my clients are just as educated as I am on why they doing what they doing and why this is wrong. Not necessarily wrong, but like we're correcting this part of your
Yeah.
form so you can protect blank, blank, blank. And I think that's important because the big thing is if I train you, you come see me once a week.
Yeah.
But these other days you working out, I need you to be working just as good as we working alone, so that it's progress that's only gonna come with what you're gonna do on your own too. Like
Mm.
at the most, I might see you 3 times a week, but we got 7 days in a week. Like you need to be comfortable and confident in your movement
Yeah.
and knowing why you're doing what you're doing.
I mean, even that, like we've had personal. All right, for everybody listening, Jeremy does train me as well. I mean, we've got to the point where okay, I was fairly athletic, and I've lifted weights before. And then I think in our first session we talked about like doing bench press, which is like one of the more basic movements. And you're like, all right, we're gonna start out at I think you said what 135. No, you said 115. I think that was the weight. Probably one.
It was
Probably
lower than you would have liked it.
yeah. Let's go with that. And I was like, nah, man, put the 135 up there. That's light. And he was like, okay. And like you corrected my my form. Now mind you, I've benched 225 before. Like I've got to a place where I've had 145, 135 is nothing for me, but you corrected my form. And from there, it's like, oh shit, I can tell the difference of like what this movement actually should be rather than, I think I was pronating more with my shoulder
Right.
than I should have been. Like, how are those conversations? Are there other, I mean, it was probably fairly easy for me to, comprehend or take in the information from you. But is it always that easy for clients?
Um, Not always. It's like people are in different places with knowing their body.
Mhm.
So for me, it's like I have to do so much studying on my end to be able to explain it to whoever coming. And that's kind of what I would pride myself on. Is like I could make this simple for whether you've been working out forever. I
Yeah.
could go as deep as you want to go with it,
Yeah.
or if you just want to feel better with your knees and make your back stop hurting. I don't gotta use pronate and supinate with you, but you're gonna understand where your body need to be and how it should feel
Yeah.
by the time you leave.
Okay. I mean, that's funny because like I was more sore after doing, I think we ended up doing like 100 reps, but just based that form, just trying to get my form down. I was more sore than what I would have done going to, Planet Fitness or whatever gym I would go to, just messing around by myself. Just having like an informed person right there, one kind of keeps me or anybody else accountable. Um, like how do you get somebody that that goes and works out for themselves? How do you kind of transition them like, hey, this might be something be would be interested in or could help you?
I think it is one of the harder things because working out, especially for people who were athletes at some point, because they have moved the weight,
Yeah,
they feel like they know.
yeah,
So it's kind of like going to see Jeremy would just be extra, but it's really a whole different. And it was the same thing for me. Like when I got out of college, I started working at the therapy department in Oxnard. So they started getting on me about form. Like I'm thinking I know how to squat. I'm 25. I've been squatting since high school. I know how to squat. Like, and it was like, nah, that's wrong. That's wrong. So it just made me want to. Okay, it's not just moving the weight up and down. Like it matters what my needs are. It matters or how to even engage my core. I've never done that before. So now I gotta relearn all these movements. And that's me having a kinesiology background. How hard is it for just the person who had the coach that played football but never
yeah,
studied nothing? He just asking you to move weight. He not looking at your shoulders. He not looking at your knees on your squat. He just like, if you move that 225, good, we're going 250 next week. And that's kind of the mindset where it's like, if I can move the weight, it's good, but it's like, how do you feel?
yeah,
So for me, it's like, can you move the 225 with your shoulder good when you want to go hoop?
yeah,
Or you with your children? Like, can you go play with your kids? Or is it like, man, I did 225, now I can't do nothing all the rest of the week? So it's like getting opportunity like this.
yeah,
I appreciate because it's like a lot of people don't feel like they need it because I'm in shape.
yeah,
But it's like you could do something wrong enough and get results.
yeah.
So it's
We
like,
talked about
and
that.
I've been like that. Like I get massages and stuff like that, and it's like they like at one point they were like when I was lifting my heavies, they were like, "Oh, your whole shoulder girdle locked up." So I'm thinking I'm moving the weight, I'm good, but I'm not moving it efficiently, and my shoulder's not even operating the way it should. So it's like I took months off just to reset my shoulder because it's like I whatever way I gotta work back up, I could get back to this weight, but I want to do it efficiently so that I don't have all these pains in my shoulder. I want to be able to move and be functional because it's like who wants to be strong but I can't go do nothing. I'm just
Yeah.
I can't scratch my back. I can't move. I gotta. So it's like you want to be able to move with your strength, so that is optimal for whatever your thing is that you like to do.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, you said a couple things. It's kind of almost like a two-part question. You talked about asana. Like most people, they need to be certified in certain things, and when coaching, I mean, you have people out there that just, oh, I'm big, I can help you get bigger, but
Yeah.
but that doesn't necessarily, mean that that's efficient, or that could actually cause harm to you if you don't know exactly what you're talking about. Also, you talk about being more flexible. I mean, you also are certified as a yoga instructor. Like, how do kind of those two parts kind of intertwine with each other?
So yeah, for me, it's just your first question about oxygen. That because that's kind of what I like in my journey. That would have been the part where I would have been like in the moment I didn't appreciate it for all that it was. Like I had ended up getting connected with a super smart, high level therapist that had I had favor with him and he liked me. So he let me do a lot of work and it just taught me to look at stuff differently. Like with all the stuff I studied and took tests on, like he taught me more in like that year I got to work with him.
Yeah.
And it like just shifted my mindset of like, okay, cause I actually started training after I started working there. Like, okay, let me see if I could actually train people. Because for me, it's like respect. Like I could train a person who knows what they're doing, and it's less on my brain to try to explain to you what's
Yeah.
going on. But it's like for me, it's like the average day to day person, they don't know.
Yeah.
So it's like, can I know this? And he was so smart, but he can explain it to anybody. And that's what I liked about him. It
Yeah.
was like he knows every muscle by its real name and all of that. But it's like I just need to explain this to you enough for you to get it and click that light bulb on.
Yeah.
But I'm still smart. But you have to study it enough to get to that comfortability. So
Yeah.
for me, it's just like action has shifted my mindset to whereas if I would have just became a trainer out of college, I probably wouldn't have looked at it that serious. I
Yeah.
just kind of would have learned as I went. Like, well, I could lose weight
Yeah.
because I love, but I didn't lose weight necessarily in the healthiest way in high school or in college. When I lost it, like I would just
Yeah.
flip switches where I was just doing stuff that might probably wasn't the best for my body. So just like the more I learned, just like okay, can I get these same results in a healthier way that will still give me longevity. Like I'm not doing crash diets where it's like I'm up and down, fluctuating. Like
Yeah.
that's your body's got to adjust to. Because even newer stuff, and I learn something every time I go to trainings and stuff that just shift my mindset. Like we were talking about pregnant women, but just like when they have a baby, their whole center of gravity changes. Now everything in their body is adjusting, but it's like I never thought about it. Like yes, like but even if you just got more in your abdomen, like fat, you don't have a baby, you just got bigger in your stomach.
Yeah.
That changes your center of gravity. Now your hips adjusting. So it's like yeah, if you walk around like that all day, your back probably is gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Like, and it's really as simple as the distribution is different than it
Yeah.
used to be, and your body's going to naturally compensate to adjust to it. So it's just like being able to look at a person and tell what's wrong before we even talk is kind of like the easier thing because I do the study and I've had the great teachers that I've had to kind of show me those things. And then it's like, what was your second question?
Uh, Yoga. Like, how did you?
Yoga, flexibility.
Yeah.
I was a person that would never stretch.
Yeah.
So, and when I became a trainer, I felt like I would be a hypocrite if I'm telling you to go stretch after your workouts, but I don't stretch. So I just was like, okay, I'll get certified in it because I don't like to be poo. So if I gotta go teach people, it's gonna make me practice and
Yeah.
do it on the regular. And I ended up loving it. Like more so the physical benefits are great, but just the mental clarity of just the breathing and stillness and getting because I wasn't comfortable with it when I first did it. Like I couldn't even sit there with my eyes closed for a minute. Like I'm trying to look around and But it was like I didn't got to a place where it's like that stuff matters in your day to be able to control your environment, and
Yeah.
it's really your breathing. So just those aspects of it, and then it's like I like to run, so it's like my hips feel better when I do yoga. My balance is better. I'm more in tune with my body, so it's just like it has so many residual benefits than just flexibility. But the flexibility does help because now, okay, I know what it feels like when my hip is tight, and it may help dictate the kind of workout I'm gonna do today. I might not need to. I'm going to the Nola Miles Club,
Yeah.
free
Shout out to
plug,
them.
yeah, you know. But it's like I'm gonna make sure I take care of that hip
Yeah.
or stuff I'm feeling because I'm aware of it. Whereas like if you just like
Yeah.
I feel straight, like
Nah.
nah,
Nah. I mean, we've had this conversation. Even you gave me some tips on like my hip was super tight and I just couldn't get to it. I just didn't know what to properly do to get to a certain, place where I'd feel comfortable. I mean, I've been running a lot, so of course my hips are probably gonna be tight. I wasn't aware of like stretching properly or even after my run. I would stretch before my run, but I wouldn't stretch after. You told me about stretching this ligament that I don't know the name of. Can you go ahead and say the name of this ligament that
well, up the
yeah, 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 the one
the IT band,
yeah, that thing.
yeah.
Yeah, that thing. So just understanding like those things and it does make a difference. Like you really do see a difference. I mean, even from stretching better before I run, if I'm not sweating, I know it's gonna be a bad run. Like I know it. If I'm not warm, like I know it's about to be a bad run. So just these small intricate things can, one improve what your mental, improve your performance, improve other performing items on your body. Like it has a lasting effect on us and just being, I guess, being more healthy. Talk about we talked about like training, but you also like just recently went and got more certification or just more training.
Oh yeah.
Like,
So I'm also a stretch therapist. So I have a great teacher, Jordan Coburn in Atlanta. Shout out. But I got certified with him a couple years ago because
yeah,
for me it's a big recovery. Working in a therapy clinic, I realized how much stuff people have going on with their muscles that need to be addressed before we even get into the fitness part of it. So I just always wanted to be like I have that knowledge of like, okay, I can at least lead you. If you don't want to come see me, I can at least lead you to the right person to
yeah,
check on whatever those injuries, because injuries are a part of everybody's life. Like
yeah,
most people are living with some kind of chronic pain somewhere on their body. So it's just like, so getting that stretch certification, that was another thing that kind of layered me as far as understanding how the body worked. And even I think our first session was one
yeah,
of my stretch sessions. So
yeah,
it was like just that ability to, and it's not, and now I've expanded to like it's not just my fitness clients, but just people in their regular days are
yeah,
dealing with so much that it's like house calls or whatever, but it's like they need that release, and
yeah,
it's just a safe place to like, okay, I can actually relax here because we live a life that's just so on the go, so distracted, like on the gram or whatever social media app all day, like always connected. But sometimes you just gotta
disconnect.
slow down
Yeah,
and like relax your body because it's like we hold on to all that tension, whether we realize it or not. Your neck, your shoulders, your hips, your back, like we just holding on to all that, and it's like, yeah, it's gonna come out in your interactions or your in your family time at the end of the day because it's like you holding on to it, but it's like having one of these sessions, if you would like to.
for
You know what
sure.
I'm saying? It'll just be a place where it's like, okay, we could also release all of this stress off you as well as you moving better.
Yeah,
And your workouts and stuff will feel better. Or just going to work feels better. And if you feel better, you can work better. So whatever your stuff is going on, it's just like stretching is such a vital part of that journey, like taking care of yourself, sleeping well. Like
yeah,
those things are just as important as maybe even more important than what you're doing in the gym.
all right,
The kitchen, not so much. You got to eat good, but
yeah.
it's like you got to take care of your whole person, not just I go get it in at the gym, but you're not sleeping good.
We've had this conversation off camera, but um, you told me I'd become a gym snob because when you start learning, I mean, I'm interested in doing things the right way. When you learn something, like, okay, cool, okay, this is exactly how it's supposed to be done. Can you tell when somebody like isn't performing the right way, like their walk is off? Like I've seen people on Instagram like look at other people's walk and be like, you can tell something is off. Like his hip on one side is lower than the other. Like,
Mm-hmm.
do you like have that affinity of like you just watching people, or you becoming like a people watcher?
Well, I actually got told recently that that's how you practice
Okay.
is watching. But yeah, I think people watching is just an amazing thing on its own, right? But yeah, it's like you could notice when somebody's compensating
Yeah.
or their leg is dragging, or it's just little things. The more you pay attention, or they hunched over a little bit.
Yeah.
So it's just like all of that is just pain. So it's like if this person, and that's the people I see, is like if you have that much pain, going to the gym is gonna hurt, especially if you don't know exactly what you're doing. So you go get on the treadmill and your back already hurt, it's probably gonna hurt worse, and
Yeah.
then you probably not gonna want to go back. So then it's like that cycle of I'm trying to, because nobody wants to do something that hurt.
Yeah.
Like a, s- a certain level of discomfort is necessary for growth, but you shouldn't be hurting.
Yeah. I think that's the difference. Like we don't necessarily comprehend those differences. Like pain, pain is weakness leaving the body. You kind of heard that.
No,
It's not,
it's
because
not.
the right pain or right like struggle, even today in the gym, like I understood like what you were referring to. So I understood like the tension that was needed to promote growth. Then there's pain, which is a totally different feeling, but you it's hard sometimes to navigate the two.
Each two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think I like to explain it like you got good stress and bad stress. So
Yeah.
like if you I think the way they like to put it, like a person that plays a guitar, when you first start, your fingers gonna blister up because they're not used to that. But over time, you build your calluses, and that's good for
Yeah, like
like
other
that's
stuff.
a portion. That's a portion. Like so if you play baseball, your bat, you're gonna have to get through that process. So it's just like whatever that normal is that is building something up so you could continue on this performance that you're doing.
Yeah.
Like that's normal stress. Like if I don't squat for 3 months and I go squat, even healthy weight, my knees is like, we ain't did this in a minute.
Yeah.
They're gonna be talking to me for a little while. Like I hadn't run on concrete before I first run with the
Yeah.
NOLA Miles Club. Like my quads and my knees was like, all
Hey.
right, partner, like we need a few more days because we don't do this on a regular. So I had to take a break for a few days just because my body had to reacclimate. So it's just like that is the discomfort. It's not comfortable, but you can manage it and it shouldn't last a crazy amount of time.
Yeah.
Pain is like, I need to stop doing that. That's an alarm. Your body's telling you something's off.
Yeah.
So you could chew, like the pain is weakness leaving the body is so dangerous because it's like you could be causing more damage because you don't want to just reset your position and finish the last 4 reps. I'm gonna just finish them and then we'll like like you got the choice. Like you're not at practice. Like the
Yeah.
coach not about to get mad if you reset. Like if I need to take some of the weight off,
Yeah.
like I might have reached my max with this weight. Cool. We be back to fight another day.
Yeah.
Like I'm not about to feel something like that and then still be like, and it's our ego.
Yeah.
Cause I got my moments where it's like, man, I know I could do this way. And it's like, not today.
Not today.
It's all right.
I think there's a I wouldn't say I wouldn't say that, but I think there's sometimes there's a lot of way to achieve the same goal, right?
Yes,
There's more than one answer to solving a problem.
for
Even when
sure.
it comes to training and stretching, there's so many different things you can do. I mean, the body is filled with so many different things you could try to do to make you feel better. Um, and I think that kind of leads back to the initial question I had earlier was like, how do you get or tell somebody like, hey, my training is mine. Like this is what I do to help me, and this is how I can help you in a facet of ways, or multiple facets of ways.
I would say in that sense, it's just the variety of offerings that I have
Yeah,
are in place because I realize that, like you're saying, there's more than one way to skin a cat. Like I can meet you in a different place to get that same result.
yeah,
And that's why like I have my own trainers. Like I go to other people yoga classes. I go to a boxing trainer so that it's like if boxing is the way that you'll lose weight and get stronger, like
yeah,
we could do that. Like I don't want it to be like you gotta go in the gym and lift weights and get on the treadmill and
yeah,
do it a particular way. So it's like I invest. So, and I think that would be my thing. My investment in diversifying
Yeah.
is what I would say is different from my training than most training. It's like you got options. Like if you come in on a day and you hurting, we not just gonna lift weights because that's what we came to do. Like we'll do some mobility stuff where you'll still be using strength, but I'm not gonna put that load on your joints if your knee hurt already.
Yeah.
It would make no sense for me to do that. But we could still do something.
Yeah.
Whereas if you just got the trainer certification, like they're not teaching you that. Like it's just you lift weights, you get on. Like it's simple, and it's not to disrespect anybody with
Yeah.
the certification because I believe experience is your best teacher. Like you could read all the books in the world, if you don't have no experience with people and being able to recognize, because a lot of the stuff that I could recognize is because I seen it before,
Yeah.
not because we went over it in class and I remember that lecture. Like nah, like
I think there's a balance.
right.
Yeah.
So it's like experience. I will always say that's your best teacher. Like if you got experience, you should know more than the person that just read the books.
Yeah. I always feel like it's like watching basketball, and a lot of people like use data to, like, all right, say data is like the book smart part of it. Um some people will just use the data to solve problem, like use data to make their points rather than like their eyes telling them something and then using the data to support what
But
their
their
eyes
eyes
are
are
telling
seeing.
them. Yeah, like I think that's always like a misconception of, like, bro, like, no, you can use the data. Like nothing's wrong with that. But just don't just lean on that. It's like just leaning on Chat GPT to, answer all the
Right.
questions.
Yeah. It's like your eye test gotta, it's like, okay, in that same sense, like Reed is repping 225, but I'm looking at your shoulder or how you talking about your shoulder, like the data would say that what we doing is working because the
Yeah.
weight's getting heavier. But it's
Yeah.
like if Reed's shoulder hurt all week, it's not working
Yeah.
because it's not functional. Like you can't keep doing this and expect something good to happen if we continue what we doing.
Yeah.
So it's like you saying, like you gotta have an eye test to be like, okay, and I'm there to be like, cause in the norm, like even myself, like we don't want to drop the weight.
Yeah.
So it's my piece to be like, I'm gonna save you from yourself today. Like, and you might be mad with me today.
Yeah.
Like you might be like, all right.
All right.
And I just gotta, all right, man. Like, and
It's
I take it on it, but it's like I understand that piece of like, nah, man. Like I should be like in my mind, I'm supposed to hit this today, and it's like, okay, would I rather you try it? And we'll try it always.
Yeah.
But it's like if I saw the last try, you ain't got no shot. Like it'd be bad on me to just put you down there again because you asked for it.
Like, how do you develop that trust though? Like, just is it just like over time, or like, because there has to be. I mean, again, our relationship is a little different. Like, I've already known you, like,
Right.
like I've known you through a couple different instances in life. So, like, how do you develop that trust like immediately for a person?
I think for me, like, and I think it's just like God given. Like I just, it's important to me that people feel comfortable around me in
Yeah.
general. So I kind of live a life of, even though some people who have interacted with me may not think so, I really do try to consider the people around me. Like
Yeah.
I try not to be in the way. I try not to make stuff awkward. I try and because I know it's like we all got a day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you never know what people going through. So I never wanted to be like, man, I was the person that
Yeah.
ruined somebody's day. So I try my best to give that energy off to people. And I want people to leave with a different, like people come in with a lot on.
Yeah.
And it's like for me, it's like by the time you leave, you should be feeling at least a little lighter.
Yeah.
It should be a place where so for me, it's more important to start off with that this safe space. Like, and I know my personality. For me, I usually can build that trust and that comfort by making somebody laugh.
We had this conversation earlier about, like, just styles of comedy. You do have a dry humor.
Oh, very much so.
Yeah, like, nah, like we were talking about Will Ferrell and just what was it, Talladega Nights?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, nah, bro. Like, yeah.
Oh, Step Brothers.
Step brothers. And like, nah, your comedy is
Very
just
dry,
super dry.
fam. And you don't, because you won't get it unless you get it.
Yeah.
And then you be like, but that's what I used to do in school, because it'd be like, I'm talking to the person next to me and they gonna laugh, but I'm not.
Yeah.
And they gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
But I'm just, and I ain't say nothing loud. I'm not the,
You Jeffrey. if there was a character like you be Jeffrey from Will Smith, like Fresh Prince.
Mad jabs, but I've grown to where I'll be like, I'm gonna keep my jabs to myself. I tried my best.
Speaking of jabs, you're a certified boxer trainer.
Not certified.
Oh, sorry.
Not certified.
You
But
just like boxing.
I'm a fan and a avid watcher of boxing, and I have a trainer, so I am aware of many of the technique things. That's more of my.
How long have you had a trainer?
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, for sure. We've talked boxing a couple times. Who's your favorite fighter right now? Just favorite fighter. I'm not. I don't care who's the best. So I'm talking about favorite fighter.
All right.
I said favorite.
So you said that for me, I gotta go with two-parter. So if I say favorite as in like who I think I have every faith that they'll beat whoever they get in the ring with. At this point from what I've seen, that's how I feel about Tank in his current weight class.
Okay.
But my favorite boxer where I'd be like, I really want to see him fight again is Caleb Plant.
Okay.
He really, like, every time he get in there, even when he lose, I'd be like,
I just hated that he tried to like bow to Canelo.
Nah, that was crazy. But he tried to slap Canelo. Like, that's bad business on his part. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he caught Charlo with the slaps. He got to stop the slapping. But, like, when he in that ring, even with Canelo, he stood. Like, I didn't think he had a chance.
I mean, I was impressed by his because I thought he had like I think he has a very good skill set, very good boxer. I think his power needs to improve.
That's the piece where I would be like, I don't think he's the best, but as far as like everything else you stated is why I love watching him fight.
Yeah. Feet nasty.
Him and Loma.
Now that's my favorite fighter.
And I ain't gonna lie, the way he fought Devin, I was like, hey. Shakur keep talking crazy. Like, you don't want that, son. Like,
I think his feet are so important.
They say he was a dancer, son.
Oh, yeah, ballet dancer.
And it makes sense.
Oh, bro. The fact that, dog, he be getting on the side of you.
Effortless. Like, he's not in your vision no more. And he just hit you with two before he got over there.
Dog.
So when I watch him, it's just like, for me, because that's the part I like. Like, my boxing trainer got me. Because the first day I went out there, he told me, you don't need no gloves. Like, we just work feet.
Yeah.
And I understood that that's the bigger part.
Yeah.
It's not the hands, it's the feet. So it's just like, and when you start to learn it, you realize how skilled these dudes are. Like, bro, you are not good at fighting like you think. Or boxing. I can't say fighting, boxing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not just fighting. Like,
no.
It's mad science to every stance. Southpaw, the orthodox,
the shit that they're looking for, just it amazes me.
In
like,
the smallest,
like how did you even notice that, and then in an instant be able to react to it? Or it's almost like it's strategy for sure, and I love strategy. Like even a small fake because you saw it on tape where he goes for that, and then but yet you have the presence of mind like to see it and react to it instantly. I think that's the sweet science behind boxing.
Yeah, it's like because was talking about I had been watching a lot of HBO. They was going like old 24/7s.
Okay.
So it was like Pacquiao and De La Hoya.
Yeah.
But it was like the fight before that, I think they was like the trainer. I forgot. No, I'm tripping. I'm thinking about Andre Berto.
Okay.
I'm tripping. So he had a fight where he would step forward on his jab every time. And the trainer on the other side of the person he was fighting saw that, and his plan, like the way he lost the fight was when he took that step forward, dude stepped on his foot so he couldn't move and hit him with the straight right. But that was only because the trainer had watched his tendencies so much to know that he gonna do this every time, to the point that when he fought his next fight, he started trying to fight out of Philly shell because he was like, oh, they're not gonna catch me with that again. But it was like, change this man's whole fighting style because like I'm watching every bit, like, and that's why the trainers do matter. Like, like when I watch fighters go in the corner and the trainer just like, I'm like, bro, you not saying nothing. Which is like Bud and Tank. Like, I don't know they trainers by name, but I know like when they go back, even when Tank was beating Errol, he was still giving him.
You mean
No, I'm tripping. When Bud was
Beat
beating Errol, like he was still giving him like, oh, you still not perfect just because you winning. Like that's the kind of training that makes
Yeah.
elite nigga. Like even when I win, I'm still gonna go back on that tape. That's why I don't understand when some people be like, we should do it. They should do the rematch. Like I don't want to see it.
I don't want to see it. Bud and Loma, like my guys, like if you were to pick somebody, I mean, I can go back to even pre-COVID where me and my partner Dewell, shout out to Dewell, like had arguments about Spence and Carl. I wish that fight would have happened
Earlier,
pre Spence having an accident, but just his ability to one be a shapeshifter, like go from southpaw to orthodox, like and still be dominant. Like I remember the one he fought, like it was during COVID. He fought oh my god, what's his dude name? Oh my god, light skinned cat. I think he's from Britain, Great Britain. Oh my god, what is his name? It's gonna kill me. It's like I feel like it's like in my
it's
head,
gonna
but
come when you stop thinking about it.
yeah, we're gonna talk about it. But he was losing the fight. He was
Oh, you talking about when he came in the corner? He was like, "I'm down."
no. That was
Oh, that was a different one.
Spence. He was down per se. No. That wasn't Spence. That was what's your boy name? They got the podcast. Porterweight. Sean Porter.
Oh yeah.
They were
Oh
saying they was
yeah.
no. Oh my god, what is this dude name? Light skinned black dude. This was again this was like during COVID. I'm watching on ESPN. Like again, he was still with Top Rank at the time. But he was losing the fight. Like he just wasn't active. Like he switched to Southpaw and knocked dude out in the fourth round. I'm like, how crazy is that to be able to even do that? Just be able to, see something like, all right, cool. Let me just switch, get him out the ring.
Cause I think that's the crazy part of like you realizing like it's not just I'm gonna step in here. Cause
Yeah.
it's like he started teaching me the Philly shell for like 2 weeks, and we are on bare minimum foundational stuff of what this even is. So it's like that might take you years to be able to just use southpaw on that one dude that's gonna be the answer for it. Like I've practiced everything for situations, not for this my fighting style. Like he was like, Philly shell is not a fighting, like you that should be situational.
Yeah.
Like even Floyd, he not standing.
Yeah.
And his is not even a true Philly shell because
Nah.
he didn't change it. But it's like he's not standing like that the whole fight because you can't just. It's
Nah.
too many openings. You gotta be diverse. But it's like to know that like, oh, he got that and he didn't even have to pull it out till this dude.
I compare it to baseball a lot. Like it has a lot of similarities to it. It's strategy for show. Being able to see
Like
openings.
pitching.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Pitching.
Both sides. Both sides. Like I think just being a pitcher, having an arsenal and being able to use it on certain people. Like, oh, this batter has a tendency to not hit a fastball, so I'm gonna throw all breaking balls. Or he can't, a right hander on a right hander, he can't see a two seamer, which will tell in. So I'm gonna throw a bunch of like just having things and being strategic about it. And your manager is really the one calling the call to the catcher. The catcher's relaying it to you. Like that's why I kind of like those two sports because it's talent for sure. But it's all about scheme and strategy.
And it's rounds and innings. Like
Yeah,
you could lose it in an inning.
yeah,
You could lose it in a round. Like it don't take much to like. So can I keep adjusting?
yeah.
So those the dudes that I'm like, especially boxing. Like I think people don't understand. Like Floyd is a different. Like that's a different animal.
I hate that everybody tries to like reach
Now,
him.
I think he is a. I think he be seeking that attention so much that it's like people just tired of seeing him.
Yeah.
But like as far as in that ring,
nah,
dog. Like
people are lucky he broke his hand.
because that was Pretty Boy Floyd.
People are lucky.
Money Mayweather different than Pretty Boy was
a dog.
Like a whole different. But to see him be able to be smart enough to be like, I know what I could.
I don't know if he becomes that smart if he doesn't break his hand, but dog. I go back to watch what was the joint? Arturo Gotti.
Gotti,
oh my god! I just wish I was like this age and watching it. But because you hear about how like the conversations were about prior to that fight and what it was supposed to be and what Gotti was gonna do to Floyd. Like, but then you watch the fight, like
Beat the sleeves off my boy.
can't do nothing with him.
And I think like even you say that, like I feel like that loss for Canelo against Mayweather
Oh yeah,
was the best thing that could have happened to my like different beats after that, son.
Floyd was smart about that one. Like, get him early, that way you don't have to see him later. And but understanding like, oh, he gonna be different, but he does have a loss. So
Right. But it's like he was different. I feel like he was gonna go. He was supposed to not be that. Like he was meant to be in them higher weight classes. Though.
yeah,
Like that was what his true. So it's like Floyd. Yeah, he was never. Floyd wasn't about to go up to fight that
no,
boy, man.
no,
Like I
no,
wouldn't.
no,
Like so it just don't make sense. But it's like I feel like it's always a man. You fought him when you fought him. Like because it's like okay, he was older though.
yeah,
Floyd could have been like, well, if I lost, I was older. If he would have caught me when I was pretty boy, like, nah, like if he would have
yeah,
lost, he would have lost.
yeah.
And we wouldn't have made no
No, we wouldn't have made no bones about it, no barons about it. I just think Floyd was smart about when he fought him because he could have fought anybody at that time.
right because he was the draw.
Yeah, it didn't matter. Yeah, for sure. Anything else you want to talk about before we get out of here? Oh, pull up yoga Sundays.
Oh
Just follow Hustle
yeah,
Health on
yeah,
IG. Hustle HUSSLE_health HEATHELTH.
you got it,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, man. And also childish on Instagram, CHI the number one DISH. If you can't get to the other page, all those things are posted on both. But I just want to thank you, man, and commend you, man.
For sure.
Like from the years that I've known you, just to see your progression in your spaces and to see everything that you put your hands on and everything that I see that you are going to have in the coming seasons. I just pray over that for you that things are gonna go well and you'll get it in the right time. And I know you're ready for it. So it's just like I'll be there, you know what I'm saying, to subscribe. You know what I'm saying? If you got a Patreon, I'll give you, you know what I'm saying? I'll give you a $3.99.
Nah.
I
No
got
need
you,
for no
man.
399. I appreciate you, bro. I just, I know you're gonna be in the background throwing jabs at somebody. You know what I'm
Nah, man, I
saying?
don't talk about people no more, man. Like I changed my life for real, man.
All right, for
Most
sure.
most days of the week. Most days of the week.
All the contact info will be in the subscription or description, sorry. In the description, in the link below. Appreciate y'all pulling up. It's another episode of The Rhythm. Peace.